Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. I am your girl Tabisa M, and on today's video I am not alone. I am featuring an amazing makeup artist from Cape Town. I will allow her to introduce herself to you.
Hi guys, I'm MakeupwithHleli. I'm a self-taught makeup artist from the city of Cape Town. Yeah, I'm 24. What else?
Where can people find you? Your
Oh,
socials?
Instagram MakeupwithHleli, and yeah, MakeupwithHleli on Instagram.
So basically guys, today Luhleli did this face on me, and basically what you will see in this video is her just doing the whole face, answering some questions, and yeah, just giving some advice from a makeup artist who is self-taught, by the way, in terms of how to prep your skin, how to give off a flawless finish, and just the works, and even just the simple thing of doing your brows as well as your lashes. So don't forget to please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you will love this video. But without like dragging this intro for too long, let's get straight into the video.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with her brows. I'm gonna put this glue on. This is just to lay her brows flat so they last the whole day, and well, not her brows, her brown hair. It's flat so they last the whole day.
What glue are you using?
Oh, it's a lash glue, but I use it on the brows to lay her brow hairs. Yeah.
So what inspired you to get into the beauty, makeup industry?
It was YouTube. So I used to watch a lot of makeup tutorials. I used to sit in the library on campus and just watch tutorials like MakeupwithHleli doing her face, and a lot of YouTubers in the States. And then I went on Instagram and I saw that there are people who are self-taught makeup artists who do makeup professionally. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this and make money off of it. And yeah, so that's what inspired me.
What's the toughest part of your journey so far?
I think the toughest part is getting clients. Yeah, I think it's like establishing a clientele and getting people to recognize you and book you. I think that's a very tough part for me. Because I've noticed maybe like some people will see your page or whatever and then see that you don't really have a lot of followers, you don't do any celebrity clients,
so they're down to your capabilities based off of your following and things like
your clientele and stuff. So that I can say is my toughest thing to do with.
So at what point within your makeup journey did you realize that no man, I can actually do this professionally? How, in terms of your skill, how far were you, do you think, when you finally got to a point where you felt like you can actually start doing other people's makeup professionally and charging for it?
I think when I started practicing on because I started doing makeup on her, and then she liked the way that I did her face. I was like, oh, this could work. And then I did a makeup for her models for Oluhle Swimwear on Instagram. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'm getting good at doing other people, so let me try this out.
You became a lot more confident.
Yeah, so I tried it out and it worked. I grew my page and then I started getting recognized a little bit. And yeah, so I was like, okay, you know what, I can do this, I can make money
And who's the biggest client you've had? Would you care to name drop for my subscribers?
I do. The Lazy Makoti's makeup on Instagram, so you can go on her page. She has a lot of followers. So I work on set with her sometimes, and I do her makeup when she needs a makeup artist in Cape Town.
Is she like based in Cape Town, or when she comes to Cape Town?
Right now she's based here because she's working on something. But originally she's from Joburg.
Oh.
So she found me on Instagram and I did her makeup once and she was like, oh, okay. I like the way you do my makeup, so can you please, be my Cape Town makeup artist? And yeah, so I work on sets with her. And yeah, my name appears on TV sometimes.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's my biggest client.
Do you need to have a full makeup kit when you start out?
No, because I didn't have a full makeup kit. I think you only need the basics. So if you have like a neutral eyeshadow, eyeshadow palette, and just like a little eyeshadow palette that has a bit of color, because usually when you start out, a lot of people are scared of trying out color. Or like there's a big palette that I have. It has like all the shades, it has all the shades, like all the colors that you might need. So you can get that one from China Mall. Nothing expensive. You don't have to spend all your money on eyeshadow palettes. And then you can get brushes, about 20 brushes. You can also get that at China Mall. And what else? Foundation. Okay. Well, with foundation, if you're starting out, when I started out, I used to ask people to bring their own foundations.
Your clients.
My clients to bring their own foundations, because obviously I was starting out, I didn't have the money to buy different shades of foundations. And then concealers. Concealers are very versatile because you can use concealer as a foundation sometimes. So I'd invest in concealers. So you can start off by buying the LA Girl concealers because they're very inexpensive. Your setting sprays, your primers, yeah, I think just the basics. You don't really need everything that your makeup influencers have. Just start off small. Yeah.
So if someone's trying to achieve that flawless look, like that flawless makeup finish, what advice would you give them in terms of how to go about achieving that?
Skincare is very important when it comes to makeup. Like very, very important. Because makeup kind of sinks into your skin and it sticks to your skin for a very long time. So you really need to invest in skincare. And just like how you start off with makeup, start off with the basics. So obviously never sleep with your makeup on ever. Like ever. Take off your makeup with an oil cleanser, and then you follow with a hydrating cleanser to unclog your pores, and then moisturize your face. Serum, use a serum if you someone that likes using serums, but just make sure you take off your makeup before you sleep. Yes. So, but like the main thing of achieving a flawless finish when it comes to your makeup is invest in skincare, like invest in your skin.
Do you think priming is important when you do your makeup? Because I know a lot of people don't necessarily prime their faces. Do you think that also plays a role? Is it important? Can you skip that step?
You can if
You have good skin.
No, not necessarily if you have good skin, but if you invest in your skincare. So if
Okay.
you wash your face twice a day, like in the morning and evenings, and you have a full skincare routine like serums,
Yes.
exfoliating, masking, you don't really need a primer because a primer is just like moisturizing on top of your moisturizer.
What's already there.
Because it's already there, you've already done your skincare routine, so you don't really need to do it again with a primer. The only primer I can say you need is if you're an oily girl and you...
Something for oil control.
Yes, like a mattifying primer. But if you like a normal, what is it called? Normal combination or dry skin girl, just do your... Personally, just put this what I think personally. Just do your skincare routine and then, yeah. Just,
you're good to go.
yeah, and you're good to go. You don't really need a primer. It's not like a need. Now we're starting with the eyeshadow.
What are we doing with...
We're priming the eyes. So I put an eyeshadow base. The P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor Zero. So this is to make your eyeshadow pop.
Is it better to use an eyeshadow primer or like concealer? Like, is there a difference? Please explain.
You can use concealer or an eyeshadow base. It doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just that an eyeshadow base is a bit more expensive than concealer. So either or, it works. Your eyeshadow will still come out looking the same, really.
Can you advise on how you would price your services? Like how you price your services?
Well, how I priced mine, I looked around. So I looked at what other makeup artists were charging around the country. And then I based my prices off what I had, like the products that I had, and yeah, I came up with the price. So just look around, ask other makeup artists how they charge, and yeah.
What would you consider as being important when pricing, like when trying to determine how to price?
Like I said, like look around, look at what other makeup artists are charging. So it's just to figure out the market value of doing makeup. So people don't mind paying 500 for a beat because most makeup artists charge that amount. So it's like the standard price to charge. But also if you have like really expensive products that are not really drugstore meaning from Clicks or Discount, then you can charge a bit more than 500, because I mean if you have a foundation that costs 800 rand and there's like about 10 of them, you need to make a profit, so it wouldn't make sense if you would charge less than 500 on a beat. Yeah.
Do you also like consider obviously your talent as well?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely talent, experience, yeah, your clientele as well. Some people charge more because they do celebrity clients.
Do you advise on charging a call-out fee?
Definitely. I charge a call-out fee because you also have to, if you have a car, you have to consider your car's expense as well. So it would make sense
to have a call-out fee.
Definitely. This is like the base of our eyeshadow. So like I said, I want to do something full glam but neutral tones. Yeah. So starting off with this brown, burgundy, purplish color. Just right by the crease, and then we're gonna brush it out with our transition shade.
Is it important to, like, in terms of product placement when you're working with the eyes, in terms of like colors and stuff like that, knowing where to place your colors?
Definitely. It will make your eyeshadow look better, and everything will just look in sync if you know where to place like your darkest shade and your lightest shade. Everything will be seamless.
Was there any practice before doing it as a business?
Yes, so I practiced on myself. Obviously, I started doing my own face, and then I started doing other people, like friends, cousins, my mom, anyone really that allowed me to do their makeup. And yeah, like I said, I saw how people reacted, and I liked the way they looked and how I looked. So yeah, and I decided that, you know what, this could be like a thing. Mm-hmm.
What do you like most about what you do, and what would you say you like least about it all?
So what I like most is the confidence that makeup brings to people, because you know how you feel when you have makeup on. Like,
Yeah.
you feel like a bad bee. You know.
Of course, it's a full transformation.
Yeah, like people really, really feel good about themselves. So that's what I really, really like. What I hate, well, dislike, let me not say hate, because hate is a strong word. I think sometimes people don't respect your time. Some people keep you waiting, and especially if you're an understanding person like me, I feel like some people take advantage of that. But other than that, I think, yeah, I like being a makeup artist. Like, there's not like a list of things that I can say I hate. So now I'm packing on the transition shade. So it's like a brownish, orangish tone. And I'm packing it like right above where I packed that dark burgundy color. Yeah.
Building on what you just answered now, how do you deal with difficult clients? Like, in terms of sitting still, in terms of lateness?
With the sitting still, I think I just tell them that, you know what, they need to sit still, because if they don't sit still, it's not gonna come out the way that they would like it to come out. Lateness, I don't know how I really deal with lateness here. But like, I'm thinking now of charging a late fee, because before I don't do that, and then sometimes it just gets out of control, because if you late, then that means I'm gonna be late for my next client, and just my day is going to be ruined because of one person. So I think like that's the best way to do.
Do you possibly think that could also be maybe a lack of respect for what you do?
Sometimes I think it is, but then sometimes I understand that people, like, they don't really do it on purpose. Like, sometimes things do happen. I think what really annoys me is when you are late and don't really say anything to me and don't warn me that you'll be late, because when you're late, you know you'll be late. Like, you can tell I won't make it on time. So I really appreciate it when I have clients who communicate that, so I can tell my next client, if I have another client, that listen, I just might be running a little bit late. So can we move our appointment to this slot instead of this one? So just like consider me and my other clients as well.
I think another thing that maybe you could actually take into consideration is how long the person is going to be late for.
Yes.
Like if it's like a 10-minute thing, then okay. But if it's really gonna impact like heavily on your time and the next person's time, then would you consider a cancellation?
Yes, I do. So if it's more than 30 minutes, because I can work around 30 minutes, then if it's more than 30 minutes, then no, you have to cancel your appointment.
And with the cancellation, is there a cancellation fee, or
Yes.
do they get a part of their money back or nothing at all?
Cancellation fee. I charge a cancellation fee because I don't do deposits. So if you cancel on me the last minute, then I will charge a cancellation fee.
With that though, isn't it a bit tricky that they don't pay you beforehand? Given that if someone's late, they can still not pay you.
Yeah.
If like they cancel the appointment.
Yeah, that's happened
So
to
you
me
could end up
before.
losing.
Yeah, that's
Then-
happened to me before. So I started, well, not started, but I'm like going towards
The deposit.
deposit.
Yes.
Like the 50%
Yes.
deposit.
I think that's a good thing because like some people out there are very ratchet.
Mhm.
They'll
So she's
We're
gonna have
cutting-
to-
the crease now. A lot of people want to know how to do this whole cut crease situation, and it's actually so fascinating and so interesting.
So you feel where your eyeball ends, literally.
Please walk us through the perfect brows, like for beginners.
Follow your brow shape. Like I said in the beginning, I use lash glue to flatten out the brow hairs, so they don't distract you, especially if you have bushy brows.
Mhm.
I'd definitely
Tame them.
recommend them. So tame your brows. Yeah, and follow your brow shape. And that's literally it. Don't try and make a brow shape that you don't have. Follow your own
Your natural
natural brow shape.
Do you advise in like waxing your brows or tweezing?
Yeah, like go
Threading.
to if you want to thread your brows, thread them, shape them, and then follow that shape. Don't fill in a brow shape that you don't have.
Which is better though? Would you say a brow, what's that thing, a powder or a pencil?
Pencil. Yeah, pencil.
For beginners.
Yeah.
For beginners, a pencil.
Because with powder, you have to know how to.
You need
handle
to
the
know your
powder.
stuff.
Yeah. So for beginners, I'll definitely use a pencil. Brown pencil, not black. Brown.
Not black,
Because
guys.
your concealer makes your brown pencil darker anyway, so you don't need black.
Guys, as you heard, so please, if you were using black pencils or anything of that nature, stop. That's very ratchet.
Okay, maybe preference. My preference is to use, look down, is to use brown. Because I feel like if I use black, it's going to look
Makes
really,
it too
really,
harsh.
really dark and harsh.
Hmm.
But if you like that look, Ndase, I mean,
Do you?
do you? Like,
But lashes, you know what? This lash, we need to talk about lashes real quick because a lot of people always tend to ask me, I'm not a makeup artist, but people will ask how I get my lashes to stick and stuff like that. People struggle with putting on their lashes. Like, do you have a go-to method, like a quick go-to method of like for putting on lashes, or what would you say?
put on your glue on the lashes. Obviously, you measure your lash first and wait for it to be dry. Rather it be dry than wet. So just wait it out for 2 minutes. So put on your lash glue, and then if you're a wing liner person, do your wing liner while you wait for your
Glue to dry.
glue to dry. Or you can move on and do your foundation or your primer, whatever you
do next.
You can move on and do that next, and then apply your lashes.
Okay.
And what helps your lashes blend sometimes is liner. So you can line your lashes, and then and mascara. Put mascara on your natural lashes, and yeah, you're good to go. Oh, and look down on the mirror. So if you're putting it on, just look down on the mirror so you can see where your natural lashes start. And you put it as close as possible to your natural.
I was actually about
lashes.
to ask that, because I remember a friend of mine once asked me, like, where exactly do you put the lash? Do you put it on your lash line, just slightly above your lash, like, or underneath? Because she also asked me, do you put it underneath your neck? And I'm like,
There
no.
are some people that do it.
Under?
Yeah, under. They do it like this. There are some people that do it like that. It looks like individuals. Like It gives you the individual look. But obviously, if you're a beginner and you don't want to do that,
that's a bit scary.
yeah, it is. You have to really know what you're doing. So if you're a beginner, you put it right on top, like where the line is, where your lash
line.
Yes, right on top. Right on top.
Do you have any like specific professional like makeup artists or iconic people that you draw some of your inspiration from, or you look up to within the makeup and beauty industry?
I really like Kay Youngs.
Kay Youngs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like Kay Youngs.
Yeah, she's very relatable. And I think I've followed her like from the beginning, so watching her grow and watching her journey is very inspiring. So I really love Kay. Yeah, I think that's about it really.
Is it?
Yeah.
In South Africa, internationally, or
No, like
it's
in
just
general,
her?
It's just her.
Oh,
General.
interesting.
I don't really have any American. I mean, I watch American beauty influencers, but yeah, they don't really do it for me like that. Yeah. So I just done skin prep. So what I did is I put on
Just show this product.
this primer serum
From
Wet n Wild, and then I put this illuminator just to make the skin glow a bit from NYX. Yeah. So now I'm going to put foundation from NYX. I'm gonna mix these two, mocha and walnut. So the lightest one here, like in the middle of her face, and then the darkest outside.
So it's almost like you're highlighting and contouring.
Contouring, yes.
Is there any specific person or celebrity that you feel like you would love to do their face?
Never thought about it. I think Bonang. Oh, DJs in yes.
I feel like Bonang would be a difficult client.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, she would, you know, she
Yeah.
seems like one of those.
She's busy.
Yeah, when you do their
And
face, she'll be laughing, talking on her phone.
Yeah, I think DJs in yeah, I'd like to do her face. She has a nice face. She's really beautiful, and like her facial features are just stunning. So
Do you think like high-end brands are better?
sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I think it just it really depends, but you don't need high-end brands, especially when you're starting out. It's not something that you have to go out and buy, because you get some high-end brands that are not really that great, and then you get drugstore brands that are better than high-end brands.
For people who don't understand, like, what you consider, the high brands.
So high-end is MAC. Any standalone shop that you see in mall could be high-end brands. Well, or a high-end brand. So MAC, Estee Lauder, Lancome.
The main thing is that some people tend to think that if they buy like from MAC, I'm gonna use MAC as an example because that was the brand that used to be like the biggest trend and everybody wanted products from MAC and stuff like that. A lot of the times people tend to think that that's what's gonna give them the ultimate look or so I think there's a bit of that, I guess, with people in terms of thinking that just because it's a high-end brand it's gonna be better or
yeah, that's why you need to shop around, watch reviews. For me, I don't feel like you do. But if you really into like high ends and all those stuff, then go for it. Like if you have the money, then why not? I don't, so I don't do it. But I mean, if you have the money,
you can go ahead.
then go ahead, babes.
I think another thing more than anything is that people just need to practice and get the skill
First,
number one.
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what brand or whatever you use. If you don't know how to do your brows, you simply don't know how to do your brows. It doesn't matter what brand you use, but you're gonna have messed up brows either way. So I think more than anything, that's the one thing I would personally say to people is that practice. Because another thing is people don't want to practice, but at the end of the day, they want flawless makeup, they want to look good and all these things, but they don't want to put in the time and effort into learning. And people just want to be able to do something when they need to go somewhere. It's like, okay, now you have somewhere to go. Now suddenly you want to learn how to do a cut crease. And it's like,
doesn't work like that.
No.
And it takes a lot of time to get the hang of makeup. Because like trends change, like the way people do their brows change.
Yeah.
So with that, find what works for you and your face shape. Just because there's like a wing liner trend and it doesn't really suit your face. But I mean, wing liner suits everyone's face. But
there's certain things that won't be necessarily appealing
to you and your face. Don't do it because now there's a trend and everyone's doing it. Do what works for your face.
And I think how as a person you will even get to a point to know what works for your face is if you practice. It goes back to you need to put in that time and that effort into practicing, and that's how you will know your face. One, that's how you'll figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So even with the different trends, the different brow styles or whatever the case is, if you don't take the time to practice, how are you gonna know? And then you'll constantly be here complaining about how, but when I do my makeup, I don't come out like this. But when someone else does my makeup,
And just because your favorite influencer says you should try doing it this way, it doesn't mean that it will work for you per se.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Highlighting and I'm contouring the face. So when I contour, I take like dark foundation or dark concealer, and then I put it on where I contour. So my forehead, nose, and jawline.
Do you really care about like nose contour? I think when I do my makeup, I don't necessarily.
Yeah, because you don't really.
I'm
need-
just like, that's too much
yeah.
admin.
You have a white nose.
Yeah, also I
Even-
think it also depends on the shape of your nose. Sometimes you don't really a shape like this doesn't really need like
No, I think for me it's not necessarily because of the shape of my nose,
Mm.
but I just feel like it's too much admin.
Oh.
That's how I feel. I'm just like, there's certain things on my face that I won't mind doing, and then there's things where I'm just like, no, this is just this is too much time having to be doing this thing to my nose. No. So I will highlight it, but I will not do the contour because I'll just be like, no, that's too much effort.
That's why I'm saying like your shape of your nose allows you not to really contour and just highlight. Because it's already defined.
But don't you miss the days where, like, we literally would just put mascara and eyeliner and call it a day?
Oh.
You know? Yeah, now look
Now
at
you
us.
have
Skin
to
preps,
foundation.
this, that.
Blush.
And I guess you know what? The funny thing is sometimes you may not even realize it, but we've all been influenced by these things or these trends because we never used to wear eyeshadow, and now we're out here doing cut creases and all these things, wanting to learn all these different styles of makeup.
It used to be a celebrity thing.
You know, but now we want lashes, we want all of these things, and you feel like your makeup or your look is not complete if you don't have lashes on, or you don't have a particular thing. You know, it's crazy.
I'll never go out the house with full face of makeup on without lashes.
I fully agree.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have makeup on than not have
Right.
like if I'm gonna do it, let me do it properly. That's how I feel.
Because I feel like why did I put makeup on if I'm not gonna put lashes on?
You know.
Now I'm putting on cream blush, so it's just lipstick.
So she uses lipstick as a cream blush. Do you find it to be better, or does it do something for the face?
I think it just
Can I
enhances
see this?
it blends the contour in, and it enhances the powder blush that you're gonna put on once you put on a powder blush.
This is a
Do you prefer like a contour kit or a bronzer kit?
a bronzer. I feel like I cream contour and then I bronze the face, so I don't powder contour because I feel like if I powder contour, it's gonna look a bit harsh.
Let me ask you a question about bronzer. Why are they glittery? Like some of them are so light and glittery, and I don't think that's what it's supposed to look
I
like.
think they cater for white people mostly. So if you want a really great bronzer, try the Makeup Revolution bronzers or the Morphe. So you can get it online. Yeah, because they have some really great bronzers for black women of color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm someone who sweats a lot, like I perspire a lot. To the point where I've used antiperspirant before as like a setting spray, like a primer. So what advice do you have for, people that sweat, your clients that sweat?
Use calamine. What is it called? Milk of magnesia. Yeah, that's what I've heard people use to minimize the sweat. It's not like you're not gonna sweat. It's just
It won't be as
it won't be
hectic.
as much.
So you put it on, you wash it off, and then
No, you put it on like as a primer. You put it on, you wait for it to dry, and then you put on your foundation. So you can do that if mattifying primers don't work for you.
often do you use like setting spray? Like, is it really necessary?
Yes, like I believe in setting spray. I think it makes your base more flawless and it helps your base sink into your skin. By base I mean like your contour, your concealers, your foundation, it puts everything together, and your powders obviously. Yeah. So it mostly makes your powder really sink into your skin. It takes away that powdery effect.
Yeah.
Do this doesn't show the skin.
No, my issue is I've bought a bronzer before and I ended up using it as a highlighter.
Oh.
We would like some champagne, please. The one in your house. What's this? Wet n Wild. Oh, LA Girl. I've never tried their blushes.
No, you should.
No?
Amazing.
I'll definitely. I believe in LA Girl. So tell me, guys, about an experience where you were dribbled by a guy.
I got dribbled by someone I wasn't dating once. Yes, mostly. You meet a guy, you guys go on a date, and it turns out he doesn't want the same thing that you want. So I think I stayed in that thing for about 3 months. Until like he ghosted me. Obviously I was like really heartbroken, but got over it too. So I think that was like the first time. Okay, no, it wasn't the first time. But like I think it was like the first time I got really, really hurt from a dribble. Because I wasn't dating the person. Okay? And they obviously didn't want to date me. So obviously we're two, there's doubt.
Yeah.
And we were like,
You're a catch. So how is this person not? How is it not translating?
I can't confirm, man. So okay. Yeah, and obviously he came back.
Of course.
Like a boomerang.
Obviously.
They always
They
do.
always do. But yeah.
If there's anything definite, is that a man will come back.
I think.
Yeah, but he comes back for 6. It's
Mm.
No, he
nothing
comes back
else.
for either 2 reasons. To either check that she's still down,
And 6.
since or to check that he still has power over you.
Hopefully when he wants us. And I was
You know.
like,
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
no, it's okay.
I personally feel like, as a people just in general, we are yet to have a conversation about that whole ghosting thing or situation or whatever you want to call it.
There's a new show.
Because,
There's a new show for ghosting now in South Africa.
because I just feel like it's a very emotionally abusive thing to do to
Shame. I
someone.
know, because I've also done it to someone and I feel so bad.
You ghosted.
Yeah, I've ghosted someone before.
Like you just.
Yeah, I just blocked him. And he called me and was like, hey, boy,
What's going on?
why did you block me?
Yeah.
And I really had no reason why. I just didn't want to talk to him.
Just
before.
didn't feel like it anymore.
And I realized that it's actually not nice now.
It's not nice. Like it's really like emotionally abusive to do that to someone. Because especially if there's like, okay, it generally comes from a place where there's no explanation in the first place. That's what it is. People who ghost people are usually people who have not given an explanation in the first place, or who have been vocal about, listen, for whatever reason, I'm not interested. And let me not even put it in a relationship, let me just say ghosting in general, even in friendships or whatever the case is. Like, if you no longer want to be associated with someone for whatever reason, communicate that. Like literally, nothing is gonna come off your skin by just being honest and saying, listen, this situation is not working out for me. Sorry, I cannot do it. But it's a sad reality, I guess, and it's become very common that people are very heartless, number one, and two, people are very selfish, and like it's a thing, and people are like, I just ignored that one, I just stopped talking to that one, and it's nice when you do it to other people up until it's done to you. And unfortunately, karma, we all know, it knows all our addresses. I read something, and I'm gonna say the name of the place because I don't want it to seem like I'm stealing anyone's content or anything like that. I read something on a gossip blog, for lack of a better word, called Hot and Served on Instagram. And it was a story about a friend who was having an affair with her friend's man, and she was pregnant with the guy's baby. And she was now trying to, so basically she was airing out the friend's dirty laundry because she wanted the guy to leave the girl so that they can be together with the baby and play happy family. So where I wanted to go with this is because obviously it sparked a whole debate on Instagram, and I actually wanted to talk to you guys and just hear your views of it. In terms of, what do you guys think about introducing your... What do you guys think about introducing your friends to your partner? Or how? Yeah. What is your guys' take on?
Nah, I personally don't care.
Genuinely don't care.
I genuinely don't. Like, if you want to cheat on me with my friend, and if my friend entertains you, you family. Like,
I feel like there's certain lessons that you need to learn in life.
yeah,
So
like I'm just
that was something was supposed to happen.
Right, I'm just when you feel like my
You
friend.
would never see this person for who they are. Like, for you, this person's a ride or die. For you, after drunken times, you guys sleep next to each other. You wake up in the morning, you love, I know you too. You said, I know you too. I know you too. You cry, I know you too. You go through all of this, and you're thinking, this is my friend.
Right.
And this is my friend. So for me, it's a thing of, there's certain aspects of people that you weren't going to see. But there's ways that you
until you were in certain situations.
Yes, maybe they've done it to other people. But for you, it's not to say that you think that she'd never do that to you. For you, you think maybe they've grown.
Yes.
It was a childhood thing. It was they've grown. They value this friendship. You know, we had a different space. You know, people change, people grow. But there are certain lessons that if it happened lightly, you take it lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also don't care about that. If it happens, it happens. It's a beneficial boyfriend, yeah, because like I'm scared.
Friends that do that. What about friends that how can I put it?
Acting is
No, but like hanger on in a friendship. Is it like hanger on situations where maybe like what you're saying about the fact that people are like expecting you to give someone your number for drinks and stuff like that, or you're in a friendship or in a group, you're constantly being the one, you're bringing the guys, you're bringing the parties, you're bringing the
vibes.
Do you feel like it should be an equal situation where if you're a group of friends and you all like a good time, you all should be able to supply a good time? Or is it okay for it to constantly fall on maybe one or two people in the group where they are the ones who are...
Some people's laps aren't the same. Some people, you tell yourself, I'm maybe good at cooking.
Yeah.
That's your forte. That's just what you are. Maybe you have a personality where you are prone to anxiety, so you're not good at speaking to men or
100%.
You just don't
do well in that situation.
Period.
But then if that's the case, then should you be present and enjoying those moments with those people that are supplying the stuff? So in the sense that if I'm since you are socially whatever, or you have anxiety, or you're not good at like talking to people or bringing in guys or getting suppliers, whatever you want to call it, but should you then be tag along when the rest of your friends go to these situations, especially knowing that you don't necessarily contribute or you can't contribute? Should you enjoying the fruits of other people's labor?
So because
I'm asking.
I'm just saying, because I don't contribute in bringing like men, I shouldn't come out, but I contribute in like money and transport.
No, but maybe it's not about money and transport. This one is specifically about
men.
When it involves guys carrying us drinks, taking us to places, doing things.
So then it means that you're only going to have friends who are good for a vibe. You're never gonna, in that type of situation,
friends,
you're never gonna have friends of substance.
Yeah.
Because we see it a lot in South Africa. We see it a lot. These Instagram friendships, there is such a thing. Not that
Yes, no.
Where it's simply because what was once there is no longer there.
What binds them together.
Mm-hmm. It's no longer there. Mm-hmm. And in those type of situations, more often than not, whole life is settled into one. And you can't even be mad because the basis of your friendship was a mere factual.
Surrounded around, it's about men.
It's about men, it's about
what
money,
you
it's
can
about
get
vibes.
out of them.
It's the same thing of, there was a topic where, I think it was posed to, this influencer in SA, I don't want to say their name in case I'm wrong. So, they were posed the question that, you have your friends, like, let's say your friends that you grew up with, or just your childhood friends, but they don't necessarily meet the standard of where you are now, or the standard of the kind of friends that you have now. Now you're going to exclude them, because they don't meet that standard of the circle that you have now. And those are friends that were with you through it all. Fantuka af, So I remember people were having a debate about what type of people are you friends with? Because if it's about optics, then you're never gonna know the true value or meaning of friendship. Because now you're just friends for optics.
We are team no influence, we are team.
They agree. They didn't agree with what I just said now.
But
they said one is Akshia. We don't meet my aesthetics.
If your friend doesn't meet your standard of growth, if Nikole Nonke and your friend is not growing and doesn't inspire you and doesn't push you to work hard, I feel like you need a friendship group like that. You need friends that push you to work. And if you're that type of person, then it wouldn't make sense to have you told me, because to have you told me that doesn't align with what you want in life. It makes sense for her. Maybe for someone else who wants you told me that are a bit grounded, that are okay with where they are in life and are not really for working and being in businesses and doing that and doing this and doing that. That's okay for them. But if you're someone that wants you told me Ezzy, that work with this company, that want to do this, that want to do that, then if it makes sense for you and it aligns with what you want in life, then it wouldn't make sense
to keep that friend.
It wouldn't, it really wouldn't. I think love friendship is not frustrating more than anything.
I have that type of friendship.
And does it work for you?
It works for me because there's certain things that people have or do that you can value. Where they are in life or and it's always in comparison. Where they are in life in comparison to you, you're not going to want the same things. Where your future lies, it's not always going to be the same. But there are people who can be wanting the same things as you, but will never tell you, "Uhleli, now you're wrong. Uhleli, I think this is more suited for you." Because, I mean, for one, this is a friend that you probably had since you were a child. So they've always known what you wanted. And maybe life changes and things like that, but the core of the person who you are and what you wanted, that's the person that's going to know. And that's the person that will always bring you back to reality to say, listen, you are falling off the wagon a bit, or you're leading astray, come back. But because they don't meet my aesthetic, what's the word? Expectations, I shouldn't exclude them just because they don't want to put on makeup like I do, or they don't dress like I do. I feel like that is very discriminatory.
I don't know. I feel like people have certain preferences in friendships.
Each to his own.
Each to their own.
With what you're saying, with what you guys are actually like talking about, it just reminded me during the time, I think just before Swamizi got married, and he shared a whole post about people were like, from his show, people were surprised to see him with some of his friends who are obviously not necessarily where they are career-wise and all of that, who don't even live a similar or the same lifestyle as his. And one thing that he spoke about was how genuine, number one, those friends are. Number two, the fact that you should never be friends with people who are in competition with you or want the exact same life as you. And he was talking about how these friends of his, he's known for so long, all his life. Yes, they're not where he is, but they're very happy with themselves. They're very happy with their lives and where they are. And that's what they want for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with them. He accepts them for who they are and what they are.
And they accept him.
Perfect, because our journeys will never be the same. I think what it is more than anything is we like to impose our expectations on other people. I may be content living in an apartment, a bachelor flat, but because you want a mansion and you want all of these things, your expectation is that I must also want a mansion, and I'm okay with my little bachelor flat. But that doesn't mean I'm not a good friend. We measure friendship on materialistic things, and we stop looking at the true value and the core of the person. How does this person help me grow as a person? Because you can we form these connections, whether it's business, whether it's this, we form partnerships. That's easy to do. But at the end of the day, you need those core people, because when life hits you, when life truly hits you,
you're gonna go back to those people.
and it's not even about money, but just emotionally, spiritually, when life hits you, that aesthetically pleasing friend, she only wants you there when you have the aesthetics, when you can show up as that person. But in moments where you cannot show up as that person, the friendship is over. Because what binds you guys together are those materialistic things.
Yeah, I think
that's it for my TED talk.
You should explain exactly what I said.
And there's nothing wrong with making connections and all these people and whatever. But it doesn't necessarily mean discard of, especially when you know. It's different about someone's jealous of you or someone's being funny and whatever the case. Then you're like, okay, this situation is not going to work out. But when it's genuine friendships, real people, and you know you guys have a genuine friendship, there's no reason. Just because I don't drive a Merc and or a Bentley, you discard of someone because I'm bringing down your standard. Clearly your priorities are...
And unfortunately,
of course, people are very fickle.
I mean, there are people who are so fickle that I make money because I got married. So by contract, I automatically became rich. But then I have a friend who's Tabisa who works for her money. I can never look down on Tabisa.
Compare yourself to...
Just because my money is more, I can never look down or compare myself to Tabisa because our streams of income were never going to be the same.
Of course.
And in a lot of cases, that happens.
That's crazy. Because even, God forbid, but sometimes some of these situations are not even like permanent. Because at the end of the day, some people don't necessarily marry out of love or for the best reasons, you know? And then if you're gonna look at me and judge me because you feel like you have more money or whatever than I do, what happens if, God forbid, all of that is taken away from you? The husband, the house, the lifestyle that you were living. And then what? And then you become a regular person like everybody else. So it's just stupid. It's just about who you are as a person to your core. That's it. That whole thing of, oh, a person did this and then they changed, or a person did that and then they changed. It was well within you. It's just that at that particular point in time, you didn't have what you have now. So that's why you weren't behaving in that particular night. You just didn't have what you have now. But nobody sleeps and wakes up as a horrible person. It was just in you.
Yeah, like how people say, oh, money changes. Money doesn't change.
No.
It goes with
Simple.
So what would your advice, your personal advice be to what we've just discussed? It's very sad as well. It's very sad because, like, you know how they said, how you got in is how you're going to lose him. And if a friendship should break because of a guy,
it was never a friendship.
I don't have that friendship. I've never had a friendship like that.
But you know one thing, I've like with that whole thing of your friend, okay, this one is slightly different because this one is about your friends dating your ex. Would you be comfortable with that?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care?
It depends what ex.
It depends what ex.
If it's my most recent ex, then definitely I'd care. But
How long is the connection that you had with that ex?
yeah, if like yes, as me and this guy went through the most, and a breakup was just so terrible.
And you were there at that
and
time.
you were there, then it's weird. You were not my friend. Which was.
Yeah.
But like if it's like an ex that I don't care.
From a long time back, or it wasn't that deep.
Do you, girl?
Yeah.
I'll never stop you from finding the love of your life. But your love of your life can't be my love of my life.
I think my take on it actually, but that does not, it's not an open interpretation for you hoes to be coming after my exes. No. But I think for me, it would depend on the situation. Like in terms of their relationship. Whether it's a recent ex or an old ex, I think it would depend. In the sense that I could forgive it if you guys at some point get married and have kids. Like I can see that this is like a real, like these people are genuinely into one another, like it's a real connection. I think I would be able to respect that one and forgive that situation. But if it's just being hoe is life, then okay guys, so we are basically done with the face, so I'm gonna quickly go off camera and just prep my hair and return with the final look. Don't forget to leave us your amazing comments down below in terms of what you think of the video. What would you like to see next? So let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video of myself doing my makeup and she corrects me and gives me pointers in terms of what to do better or what not to do and all of that. So yes, comment down below if you'd love to see a video like that. And yes, but I will definitely link her details in the description box. Please don't forget to follow her on her Instagram and social media, and do support. If you are in Cape Town, guys, Please support her. She does an amazing job, as you can see with my own face. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment. Bye.